Okay, we're back with our live coverage here at the Bob Various Insiders Forum Conference in the Big Easy, not Los Angeles, New Orleans. Let's get it together. I've been traveling so much I don't even know where I am. And up next we have Susan Theder, who is the CMO of FMG, and we're going to talk marketing. Susan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we had a little AV issue, as I do once in a while, so apologies for that, but we're back live here.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we were talking off camera, what we're going to talk about is the advisor that's looking to go RIA is often putting together their checklist. How do I do compliance? How do I do my technology? How do I do my trading? How do I do marketing?
Yep.
So in comes FMG, and I know that you really do a lot of work helping all types of advisors, including, and I'm not sure especially, but certainly including breakaway advisors, setting up their marketing programs.
Yeah.
With all that said, please tell us how you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think marketing has become more and more top of mind for all advisors. It's a path to growth. It's really an imperative, not a nice to have. I think it used to be more of a nice to have, but everybody's realizing that not only is it important to growing your business, people are going to Google you, now they're going to chat you, you've got to show up, but it's also really important to communicate with your existing clients, especially in a situation where you're in a transition, where you're moving from one firm to another, and showing that value on a consistent basis is really huge. But advisors struggle with having the time, the resources, and the expertise for marketing, which is where FMG comes in. We're a technology platform that brings all of your marketing together in an all-in-one platform, making it easy for you to build a website and manage that website compliantly, leverage a content marketing engine that is built with compliant content that is refreshed on really almost a daily basis, to then distribute content across all channels, your web, email, social media, and even to put on events and send out printed cards. So what we hear from advisors is, make my life easy. The first thing I need to do when I break away, or if I change firms, is I need to build a new website, and I need to bring my brand to life, and that's really where we typically start with advisors, and then it's about building that ongoing marketing engine that helps them develop content and distribute it in an omni-channel fashion.
All right, sounds good. So we were talking also a little bit before off camera about the whole idea of brand identity, which I think is kind of interesting. Could you speak a little bit to that, what it is, and perhaps some of your partners that you work with that help advisors create their own identity or new identity in this
Sure,
case?
absolutely. So typically when you break away, or if you're changing your brand in any way, it's a great exercise to go through a brand strategy. And the outcome of a brand strategy are a couple things. One is really what I call a strategic insight, which is somebody, like typically you work with a firm that helps you uncover this strategic insight, a brand strategy firm, and it's really what makes you special, and what are you really going to base all of your messaging strategy and your marketing off of, and something that's going to differentiate you in the industry. Then you blow out the brand strategy and sort of a messaging platform, and then that extends to the identity system. And identity system really is just all of the assets that make you, that bring your brand to life, from business cards to, what is the, what is your iconography and photography strategy? What is, what are going to be the fonts that you use? What is your color palette? Everything that you want to have consistent across every channel you show up in. We typically refer to two firms in particular intentionally, and FICOM, to do that work, both the brand strategy that then leads to the identity system, and then it makes everything from there coming from a strategic place, and you will save so much time that way, starting with your website and then flowing that messaging out through your content.
That sounds good. And there was the other one too, intentionally, I think, we were talking about.
I think I said intentionally.
Oh, you did? Okay.
In FICOM, but
it's awfully loud back here, so I might have missed that.
We can say them again.
Okay.
Intentionally, Kelly Weltrich and Megan Carpenter at FICOM, two very good personal
we have actually
friends.
had Megan on our show once before. She was fantastic.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Real good. All right, so as far as pivoting to execution, one thing we really pride ourselves on at goRIA is specificity. So we have advisors, they're thinking about breaking away, they're putting together their checklist, what do I need for this, what do I need for that, but also costs. So can you talk, and I'm sure it is case by case, but in broad strokes, what does it cost for someone to develop their, well, you may not be able to speak to the brand identity, but to execute on their website or ongoing content? What does that look like?
Yeah, no, it's very specific because we are a SaaS-based company, so our pricing is standard. The pricing for a premium website, which is what I recommend most advisors do, is $29.95. So basically $3,000 upfront for a custom build, and then I think it might be $100, maybe $125 a month for us to host it and give you access to the platform, which has content, the compliance routing, and the ability to edit the website super easily. So we have visual editing that lets you just go in and basically edit it like it's a Word document.
Right.
I think one of the most important things to mention, though, is a big issue for advisors, especially those leaving a wirehouse, is the timing of launching that website. So they need to start thinking about building the website before they've given notice.
Sure.
But they need to make sure that that website doesn't go live before they make that broker-dealer change. And that's
right.
actually wirehouse or even independent to independent. That's a very, very sensitive situation. And a lot of agencies that if you just go like to any old marketing agency, they're just not familiar with the sensitivity of that. So we work with all of the largest broker-dealers who are recruiting advisors and RAs, and we're very familiar with how that process works. So we will handhold the advisor through building the website in a very time crunch manner to make sure that that goes live only after they've given us the okay, they've given their notice. So that's another thing to consider, is just you want to have that website ready to go when you go independent,
Yes.
which means you start earlier, but you need to be very careful that your partner is not going to blow it by putting it up too early.
Yeah, needless to say, that would be a pretty meaningful compliance problem.
That's a big problem.
If your
Yes.
brand new wealth management firm's website went off while you're still with XYZ
Yes.
Wirehouse, that would
Yes.
not go over well.
And it can happen, yeah.
So as we're kind of coming up to time here, and I appreciate you taking the time that you have,
Of course.
what is maybe one or two really important tips that advisors, especially the breakaway advisor, that's really our audience, what should they think about from a marketing perspective, whether it's the website or anything else regarding their new identity as a firm?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just mentioned the first, it's just really get your brand strategy and identity system ahead of time. Like obviously there's a big project plan that goes into place as you're breaking away. Build that website first, but be thinking very close behind that is planning out your communication strategy to, most importantly, your existing clients to begin with, and then layering on prospects and building in a social media presence. Clients, and there was a study by LinkedIn, I think something like 60% of clients want to see their advisor on social media, are looking for that content on social media. It's no longer just sort of an optional thing. So most importantly, I'd say start with email. Again, email strategy for your existing clients, and if you're breaking away, I would make that heavy on the upfront, making sure that you're establishing the reason you're doing this, what's in it for them, and then not just making that one email and done, but making that really even a drip sequence that's got some sort of regularity, maybe even once a month for a whole year. And then layering on additional value-added communications, then building your prospect and COI audience. If you already have one, start dripping on them, and then building in your social.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to put a pin in it for today.
Okay.
Susan Theder from FMG, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. All right, so we have 3 more segments to go, including our grand finale with Bob Veres himself later this afternoon, so stay tuned for that. And I'll be back with our next segment in about an hour, hour and a half right after lunch. Thanks for joining us.